By the title of Candace's video, I'm assuming she's going to obsess over the genitalia of a trans person, which is funny because it seems like right-wingers obsess more about trans people and their genitalia than trans people do.
So Adidas is now being accused of trying to erase women because they have just released their Pride Edition, Pride 2003 collection of swimsuits as part of their campaign. Obviously, we are just around the corner from the month in which sex and debauchery will be thrown into our face. So this Pride swimsuit.
Sex and debauchery is going to be thrown onto our face. Yeah, it's always thrown into people's faces. Just look at TV, where you have a bunch of straight people kissing all the time and stuff like that. How's that not sex and debauchery being thrown into people's faces? But this is just hilarious already.
Swimsuit was released under the women's section of their website. Let me just show you this model, which is obviously a man rocking this swimsuit with a giant bulge. It's really disgusting to take a look at, of course, because it's a perversion. So we are having a reaction to this because it is perversion. At least it
We are having a reaction to it. I'm not having no reaction whatsoever. Though she's letting her audience know that she is getting off to this.
was smart enough to put a black man, though, so they can accuse us of racism if we say that it's positively disgusting to see a man's bulge like this in a obviously pretending to be a woman and walking sexily.
Well, yeah, I know. She's going to obsess over this person's quote unquote bulge. And it's hilarious. Like, you don't have to look at it if you don't want to, but Candace Owens wants to.
Wearing a bun, right? He's got hair on his chest. This is the kind of, it's just sick. It's absolutely sick. He's very muscular. He's got hair on his chest. And again, his crotch has a bulge. Additionally, there's another biological male model that is posed in a sports bra, which costs around $50. The models are described as they in the online campaign. And of course, this was supposed to get your attention. They want you to react to it so then they can accuse you of homophobia and racism.
No, they're doing this because they're accepting of people. The fact that you coming up with some kind of paranoid conspiracy just shows how your mind works. You look at something and be like, oh no, they're doing this to make me mad.
All for your accusations. Come at me, Adidas. The design was created by South African designer Rich Nisi, with Adidas championing the suit as a celebration of self-expression, imagination, and the unwavering belief that love unites. Shut up, Adidas. Honestly, shut up. You know exactly what you are doing. You are trying to contribute to the perversion in our society. You are trying to grab headlines, and this is the direction that everything is going toward, right? We don't care if we're erasing women. Men are better.
And nobody's being erased, which is, again, the idea that women are being erased because trans people exist was the same as when, gay men and gay women started uh, being more accepted in society, and right-wingers were claiming that gay people were trying to erase straight people's existence. And it's like, what are you even talking about? Just because people exist doesn't mean other people are being erased. It's not like women are systematically being killed every time a trans person comes and, is born.
Better at being women. We are going to put men now under the sections that are entitled women. And the reason why I am so passionately outspoken against the LGBTQ alphabet community is because they are so passionately outspoken against women. They don't care anymore, right? They're just collecting letters. They act like a mafia. They think that they're
Right, the LGBTQ community, which is made up of women as well, doesn't care about women, so they're doing everything they can to erase themselves. Do you hear how she sounds when it's, more spoken out? It's hilarious. They're stupid. The right wing is just stupid people.
smears work, that they can libel and smear people to shut up, and I'm just not actually one of these individuals that's going to shut up or pretend that I am not offended at every single thing that they are doing, or pretending that I don't actually view them to be sexual predators, because they are. If you don't believe me, just wait a couple of weeks until we're in June and they're marching down the street in their assless chaps telling you that if you're looking at them, it's because you're problematic.
Okay. So Pride Month makes these people sexual predators, which usually you're considered a sexual predator when you try to prey upon people, and just having Pride Month is not being preyed upon. There are attempts at like trying to make people. Well, there are attempts at demonizing people does work, but if you just listen to them, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And it's not like these people truly care about sexual predators. If they did, they would want to be stopping, the straight rapist men that are abound on the right. But, when a straight man talks about raping women and they're on the right wingers support that because, supposedly that's what women enjoy.
Well, color me problematic, people, because I am going to forever comment on this debauchery and forever state that I would never allow my children to go around these perverse sorts of individuals that are intentionally taking things that are supposed to be innocent, taking things that are supposed to stay into a women's space, and trying to reintroduce them to society.
They're taking things that are supposed to be innocent. What is that supposed to even mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Under the guise of love and light, when it really is sick and twisted and meant to, again, be an absolute perversion. Had a real chuckle when I saw this list that was released. A friend of mine retweeted it. Lauren Chen, we've had her on the show before, and she said that she does all of these. Take a look at this LGBTQ list, which I guess is supposed to allow us to know if we are a bigot. So this list was published by Pink News, and it is entitled Examples of Microaggressions Against LGBTQ plus People. First, using terminology like "that's so gay." Yeah, I probably do that.
Yeah, some people don't like that, just like how, right wingers don't like being called Nazis when they are.
Second, deliberately not using someone's preferred pronouns. I definitely do that.
It's funny how right wingers don't like the idea of pronouns when if you call a right wing guy a girl, they would definitely get pretty mad about that.
Third, making assumptions about someone based on their sexuality, gender identity, or ethnicity.
Yeah, that goes into pretty big step into, bigotry and stuff.
Definitely gender identity. If you tell me that you are non-binary, I will call you an idiot. So I definitely do that. Next, suggesting that a person is not a real man or woman.
Yeah, again, if you said that to a right wing man that they're not a real man, they would definitely get upset over that.
Do like myself a little bit of biology. Check for Candace Owens.
Right, she enjoys a little bit of biology. Yeah, that's a total lie right there.
Excluding people from discussions. Nope, I am not guilty of that one. I welcome a discussion and a debate with any trans individual who would like to sit across the table and explain to me how they are definitely the opposite sex, even when I have two eyes and can see and understand that there are only two genders.
Yeah, if Candace really understood biology, yeah, she wouldn't be making such a statement like that.
Third, accusing people of being oversensitive, guilty as charged, and saying I'm not homophobic, transphobic, but
Yeah, that's the same as saying, I'm not racist, and then they say a bunch of racist stuff. When people say, I'm not something, and then use the word but, they're going to go on a bigot rant.
I'm just patently not homophobic or transphobic. Why would I be fearful of a man like we just saw, someone that is?
I just love when right wingers do that. Oh, phobia means you're afraid, and I'm not afraid. And that just, again, shows you that they don't understand the uses of these words whatsoever.
wearing a woman's bathing suit and walking like a woman. I think that that person is a freak, but I'm not scared of that person. Who's afraid of a man in a dress? I want to keep them away from my children because I think they're perverts. But no, I don't fear that
Though obviously you are afraid of these people, which is why you don't want to be around them.
person. Lastly, keeping quiet when a microaggression is directed against someone else. Yeah, I'm pretty guilty on all fronts. It's a great list. You should definitely take the test to
You definitely should stand up for people when other people are harassing them or something.
see if you are guilty of LGBTQIA microaggressions. And then you should probably not care about the results because they don't care when they're aggressing you. You definitely should not care when you are aggressing them. All right, guys, moving on to this story because I call BS. I know radical feminist BS when I see it. The story just seems so incredulous. So there's a Tennessee meteorologist who has recently been fired. And she is trying to suggest that she was fired for having curly hair and not being a size 2. I don't know if you
Nah, that's not a surprise for Tennessee, being that Tennessee is pretty racist, and a lot of people do get fired over their hair, especially black people.
believe a story is right. I mean, it just doesn't even pass the sniff test. But let me go ahead and give you a few more details. So she's a meteorologist working at an ABC TV affiliate here in Tennessee. And she tweeted that she had been fired from the local news station, but then posted this to signal that it might have been about something else. Her name is Tabitha Bartow. And here was her post on Twitter. It says, to my viewers, many of you have been asking me numerous questions, and I feel you deserved to have an honest answer about where I've been. I wanted to thank you for being here for me and supporting me for months as I began my career in the news world. I feel I never was able to introduce myself and magically appeared on your screens one day, but I was a student that had graduated in December, and this was my first job out of college, and I was extremely excited to get to know you all. When I went to college, I was told that you will hear negative things about you, and you have to ignore it, but I never once heard anything negative from my viewers because you were all so kind no matter where I went. You all made me happy to be a Tennessean. The sad news, my time at WATE has come to a close. I'm so appreciative at the Storm team, the digital producers, and the rest of the on-air talent and everyone in the control room. They were the ones that kept the spirits lifted and things positive, even if the circumstances with management were not as great. One thing I will say is that I hope that in the future we all learn to appreciate and accept people for who they are, for their appearance, for their style. Everyone is beautiful and professional in their own ways. No matter if you have curly hair or you're not a size 2, but a size 12, you matter, and people's comments should not let you down, or it should not play as a large circumstance in your job. If you have natural curls, embrace them and be proud of your natural hair. It is professional. As Frank Sinatra says, the best is yet to come, and I can't wait to share with you my next adventure. So
Hmm. Her hair doesn't look that curly, maybe towards the end, but this could also be a time where she had touched up her hair.
professional. As Frank Sinatra says, the best is yet to come, and I can't wait to share with you my next adventure. So she obviously is trying to imply, and here's a photo of her in case you are watching this and you are not just listening to it, a photo of her with curly hair. She's trying to imply that because she wasn't a size 2 and she didn't have
Yeah, okay, you can definitely tell her hair is curly at the bottom. Oh, not just at the bottom. Curly and wavy-ish it looks. Uh, she, I mean, and some employers will fire people over their styles. That is no lie. Usually not this kind of hairstyle though.
curly hair, that there were issues, because she had curly hair, rather, that there were issues in management. And I'm just going to call BS on that. Sounds absolutely fraudulent. I'm sorry, was she a size 2 when she started working there a couple of months ago? And then she ballooned, and then they suddenly were like, no, she's probably in this size the entire time. And because people are no longer allowed to look at their performance, no longer are being told that when something goes wrong, it might be because of you. They are always trying to look for an ism that they can blame. So in
Or, I mean, or her claim could be legit. I mean, there is a lot of discrimination that goes on in the workplace, though Candace Owens never wants to admit that that stuff exists unless it benefits her in some way.
In this circumstance, she's not a Black person, so she's not going to blame racism at management. So she's instead going to lean into this idea that it must be because I'm a woman who's not a model size, which, like, I mean, because what, you're supposed to be a size 2 in order to work in the news industry? I mean,
Well, a lot of women are required to look a certain way when they're doing certain jobs. So, I mean, yeah, it does happen.
I studied journalism in college. I never remember hearing that as an implication. Are you expected to look professional? Yeah, I'm sure. That's everywhere. By the way, as a general rule, if you are working in an office space, you are expected to look professional. But the idea here is just to murky the water and to get people talking about why she was fired and to really poison where she used to work at. That's the idea, is to say the climate that I worked at is what's wrong and not me, because we no longer live in an introspective society. Everyone wants to blame something else. Everyone
Yeah, funny. Everybody wants to blame somebody else, coming from Candace Owens, who blames everybody else, like trans people and gay people, and uh, like when she was in college herself, she blamed everybody else for discrimination against her, and she ended up winning her discrimination case. Though nowadays she'll never admit that there was discrimination or discrimination exists.
wants to blame the external for something and not believe that there's anything that they can do internally to correct themselves. So more will probably come out regarding.
Okay, she's getting boring, and I hate her voice. If you enjoy my content, please like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.